Councillor Lee.
Well, we're the sitting council, and whichever council it is, whether it's this triennial or next, somebody's going to make the hard decisions. So we've got the working party together now. Let's just come back with a proposal to the full council, and then we make the decision to go. Never mind about waiting until whether we get in, whether we don't. It's our decision, right or wrong. Whether the community agree with it or not, it's our decision to make.
Is that sentiment agreed? Right. Mr. Hobbs?
Thank you, Your Worship.
Don't provide an excuse because you're at fault.
I might throw the spin of it, but no, I guess the question I do have is that we've just gone through a full submission process, and we're now at the I guess my concern is what happens if the working party comes back with something that, because you've got two options. We've got the clean up or the knock over and start again. What happens if the working party comes back to council, because you guys are now saying that you're going to make a decision down the track, and we've spent 2 months worth of work or whatever it might be, coming to a step that we all appreciate, and you don't. So I guess what I'm saying is that through the normal long-term annual plan hearings we've been through, you did exactly the same thing. You listened to submissions, you deliberated, you made decisions. I guess I'm asking for whether or not you're prepared to make that decision now, or whether it is it going to be a case of...
I'm afraid that it's not a submission, it wasn't part of the annual plan, it was outside it. It was a survey of people, asking people about what was going on, and the ultimate authority must be made with council what takes place. If the working party comes back and says we want to do the major upgrade, by the way it's going to cost $5 million, council will say tough pickies. We did exactly the same as we built the sports and event centre. Somebody came in and said this is the greatest plan in the world and give it to you for $7 million. We said tough pickies. So when it comes back, this council in its wisdom may well decide that is not the budget and we won't have it, or you don't. But that is the case that the working party will come through. And the mere fact that there are 1, 2, 3, 4 councillors sitting on that, 5 councillors sitting on that, that better be a fairly good indication of the way council thinks about it. And if you can't convince one more than that, you'll give you another job. So they will come back with that to take place. Yes, you're on there too, so it's your fault.
Yeah, and I guess my concern, is that if we that be clear that the decision is made to pass that upgrade versus tidy up to the working group, and you're comfortable with that?
They're going to come back with the recommendation of it.
So no, that's not my understanding. That you're going to come back. We're going to come back with one proposal, which will either be the upgrade, or the U-Build.
Yep. That's right.
So you're comfortable with this? We're not going to get back in 3 months' time to say that what did the U-Build look like when we come back with the tidy up, or what did the tidy up look like when we come up with the U-Build? So do we have to work out those two options?
No, you're coming back with one. You will discuss you'll be discussing within there to say, hey, this is the way. It's not going to be easy, but you're going to look at both, but you're going to come back with one recommendation.
I don't see it like that. We're going to decide which one and then go with that.
Before when you said, hey, you want one proposal from them.
Yeah.
But we're not sending them out saying, look at that proposal or that. We want one from them because they are going to be reading all of this. And if they're reading all of that, they can't go out with a predetermined idea.
No.
But we're asking them to read all this, understand it, having listened to the submissions, knowing that, okay, we want to go forward, and when the working party has done that, having listened to everything, they'll come back and say, we listened to everything, we've got 2.7, we're going to do this, not major as this, not as minor as this, but this is in the centre where we're going, or this is what we're going to be doing. Otherwise, yes, Councillor Gash.
I can see Ben's point of view a little bit, and I'm concerned, I guess our first vote as a working group will be A or B. Are we
Yeah.
going for the full Monty, or are we going for a watered down version? To be honest, and no disrespect to them, but the experts on that panel are of course going to say, well, you need to do a full Monty, because we're going to be involved a lot more, and it's going to be great for us. Is that the right thing to do, or is it best to go to them at the start and say, council have decided on A, the full Monty, or B, the watered down version, now come up with a plan for that? And I think that's probably what you're getting at, Ben.
Yeah, because the reality is, I think we actually have, for the royal we to make our decision, and you actually have to do the U-Butte versus the Tata, and therefore what's going to happen is those are two proposals with a recommendation is end up what's going to get brought back to council. So I was a little unclear at the end of that conversation.
I have no problem with the working party sort of doing both of those,
Yeah,
but they have to come to us with one proposal at the end.
Yeah.
Now, I
that's
mean,
what I
that's
thought
gonna
we
be
in
enough
charge the
focus.
working group with doing.
yeah. The working group will work together and they will be saying, hey,
And decide, are we going to do A or B?
A or B.
Because we've given them that authority
Here's
now.
the cost, but they come back with one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we might well have the working party and say, hey, council work, here's their one there. You decide. They're going to have to get there to do that work to find out what they come back as their recommendation to us. Otherwise, we're just going to be sitting here in 2 months' time, 3 months' time, 6 months' time, sort of arguing about which one are we going to accept. We've set them up, given them authority, put people on there and said, you come back with a recommendation to us.
So
How
on
they
that,
go?
on that note then, there's about 14 people, I think, rough count, on that working party. Equal importance and authority to vote on A or B, option A or B. If it's a split, how do we decide? Because there's no authority there, because it's
It
not
will
a
come
council.
back like a jury will come back to council and say, we can't make a decision.
I think your time frame of something not turning something until the end of 2017 is probably getting closer by the minute if we carry on like this.
Well, that's why I'm saying the working party gets going and sort of say, hey, here it is, these are the costings. Our experts sort of know. I take your point that that's the working party, and should the three specialists be there as advisors rather than as voting members, I think that's very valid, and I would think that if you wish to, I have no trouble sort of saying to our three experts there, you're there as advisory members, not as voting members. Would that make life better for you?
I think so, and I'll probably make it a little bit clearer for them too.
Yes. Yeah. Are you happy you over there? They're nodding, they just go on and take this. Now, do you want to vote?
No, I want to hear what the ladies say.
No? Do you want to vote? Do you want to vote?
I'm happy
Why do I
to.
want to vote?
No, do our two staff members their vote?
So, no, because then that's four, so you're going to get a split
No,
vote. You
I've
could
got
get a
three over
split
here.
vote that way.
I've got
Oh,
four.
sorry,
plus three.
Councillor Van Ryn, that's right.
So I can't have a split. I
No, that's right,
those.
that's right.
I can't have it. Yeah. Yep.
Thank you, Your Worship, for clarifying that point. And I agree with you. It should be not our paid consultants. They are there to give us advice. I don't even think, if it comes to a vote, and hopefully it doesn't come down to a voting situation, we'll do the voting once we hear what they come back to us. It will be the local representatives, the three we've co-opted onto this committee, and the 5 councillors now who are on that committee. They should be approving the final resolution to come to us. Further to that, just go back a step on what was spoken about before about the options. You just heard me change my mind a short while ago. Not often I do that in this chamber, but I do it willingly when I think I'm wrong. I listened to what Councillor Lilly had to say. I thought very quickly about that, and I believe that this working party will come back with a proposal somewhere between the gold-plated one over here and the nickel-plated, obviously polished up one over there. One proposal, and we will give them the faith that we will listen carefully to what they come back with.
Good. Is that the feeling?
I have one question.
One.
One question. To what level do you want the working party to come back to you on? So today we've been consulting on location. So do you want the working party to come back and say, here's the location that's agreed, or do you want us to come back with, or the working party to come back with, here's the location and here's the elements within that location, without perhaps getting into detail?
No, we want